Hello everybody, it's the Doctor, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. We are on Rassilon, our Romulan science officer, and we are continuing the Breen invasion, and it's time for Cold Comfort. We did Out in the Cold in the last one, and now we're going to do Cold Comfort, and this one's just a little bit different. It takes a little bit of a break from the ground and space combat and puts us on a ship where we're going to do a lot of talking to somebody called Tran. And it's a little tricky, but if you get it right, it doesn't really take that long. So let's do it. Breen slavers cripple a ship and try to recover long-buried memories from its crew. Objective: we are receiving a distress signal in the Rava system. A Deferi transport weathered a Breen attack, but they've taken heavy casualties and are requesting immediate assistance. My people do not have military ships, Admiral, and I am loath to send a lightly armored rescue vessel into such a dangerous situation. Please help me, do what you can. And we can choose a crate of Deferi snow tubers or a rapid reload transphasic torpedo launcher Mark 11, very rare. The Deferi snow tubers, you can use them in combination with something else that I'm forgetting. A certain tribble. Maybe it's any tribble. I don't know. And you create something. What do you create? Oh yeah, you create the Breen tribble. The cryo tribble. That's what it's called. My brain is not here with me at the moment. Thank you, brain. But yes, the cryo tribble is what you create with the Deferi snow tubers if you want to. Accept mission, exit, and let's go to Rava system. Rava. Go faster. The go faster button. Now, the dialogue can get quite tedious in this one. I may skip some of it. I did go through every single bit of it in my first playthrough on the Federation side, so if you want to see it, go there. But I may skip some of it because it is tedious and long if you actually read every single sentence and word. Putting it on screen now. Thank you for responding to a distress call. We've been boarded. We need help. Help us. That's basically what that is. So let's go to the Deferi frigate and let's help them. Talk to the frigate and beam over, and we're going to do a little bit of, well, science officer stuff, I guess. Medical officer, more like it, not science officer. We're going to heal some Deferi, and in the process, we're going to find some things out in their heads and stories that they had in the past about the Preservers. So if you're really interested in the Preserver storyline, you do want to read all the dialogue in this mission. It will relate to that. Dr. Kosa, by the balance, things are bad, help me. Okay, so now we're going to help these people. Diagnose injured Deferi. I hope I remember which one is the correct answer on these things. You can ask them what hurts. Do you have any allergies? Are you taking medications? All this stuff leads to help you to find the cure for him also. What was the last time you ate, and what were you doing before you were injured? I guess you kind of have to go through each one, so that's... It opens up. There we go. Treatment for Disruptor injuries. Okay, so now we can go get his thingamajig. Go get a med kit. Load. Oh yes, it's always the second option down from the top. I think that's what I remember. Bicardine. Load into hypospray. And that should do it. Use bicardine. Bam. The pain from the Disruptor wound is subsiding. This feels much better. Thank you. Awesome. We win! Oh yeah, I need to use the protoplazer on wound. Bam. You are now better. Okay, talk to Kosa. Now, I knew that because I knew what the answer was, but if you didn't know what the answer was, you will need to read all that dialogue and it will give you the clue to load the bicardine. Or you could just watch this video and see what the answer is and just do what I just did. That works too. But again, if you're interested in Preserver stuff, you do want to read the dialogue that some of these people are talking about. Maybe I'll have to answer more. He's a little crazy, so we gotta help him out. A neural scanner. Now let's neural scanalyze him. I just made that word up. And it works. Captain, it appears that there's a cortical implant in this patient's brain that is causing the disorientation delusions. There's an extremely high amount of neural activity in the area around the implant. Perhaps if we were able to decrease the activity with an anesthetic, the patient would be more responsive. So the Breen have implanted these things in their brains. Why? Well, we're going to find out. Mother, is that you? Yes, it's me. Alright, we need anesthetics, and if you read all his dialogue, you'll find he's allergic to some stuff, but he is not to anitrizine. So I believe that's the correct answer. Use that. Bam. Where am I? I remember the Breen attack, and there was this medic. He seemed sad. The Breen implanted me with a cortical implant. It has been forcing me to relive memories from my past. Please help me get it out of my head. I don't want to live like this. Removing a cortical implant is a tricky process. We should confer with Dr. Costa. So, the Breen want to find memories that the fairy have using these implants. I'm not familiar with any technology like this. Any attempt I'd make at removing it would be based on an educated guess. We have some captured Breen in the brig. See if one of them will help us. So now we got to go talk to the Breen Prisoners and see if one of them will help us with this cortical thingamajig. The Breen want information from the fairy. They've, but you know, I don't know if implanting them with these things is the best way to do that. But they did anyway. Talk to Breen. Blah, 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 blah. What is your name? Period, period, period. Dot, dot, dot. Are you here to let me go? What is your name? I am Tran. Hi, Tran. I love his response. I am Tran. What are you looking at, Romulan? What is your name? Look at you, cowering in the shadow of Thought Trail. What hope could the Deferi possibly have against might like this? I will not answer your questions. Go bother someone else. Tell me about Thought Trail. Thought Trail is more power and vision than a pathetic being like yourself can possibly comprehend. The Deferi will be the first to fall to his might. Yeah, okay. Someday soon I will stand blah blah blah. Okay. First of all, I like his purple helmet. Okay, now let's go back to Tran because he's our guy. What do you want, Romulan? Now here's the thing. If you answer these questions wrong with Tran, he quits on you, and you have to restart the entire mission over again, and it's annoying. So I'm gonna actually read these because I need to get them right the first time, or else I'm going to have a tantrum. What are you doing here? What is your story? What kind of monster are you? The one thing with Tran, don't call him a monster. He's just doing his job. That's it. He is not thinking about things so much, except he does like the civilians. All right, let's do what's your story? Okay, let's see. What does attacking a civilian transport have to do with Breen expansion? Okay, he doesn't feel comfortable talking, so we have to go turn this thing off so this dude won't overhear us. There we go. There's a dampening field. Now we can interrogate Tran, and this will work, hopefully. Yeah, no. Now he can't hear us. All right. Did you object to your commanding officer about this assignment? How can you justify an attack against civilian targets, or you followed orders, you knew you were dishonorable, your failure is well deserved? Always go with the civilian target answer. Alright, you speak of nobility, but where was it when you shot helpless innocents with your Disruptor? Or did you have an option that didn't involve attacking the Deferi? So your mission wasn't just to kill the Deferi? I'm a combat medic. My task is to repair the injuries. Yes, I was tasked with capturing civilians alive and fitting them with subspace cortical implants. These devices are barbaric, even by our standards. We use them to obtain memories from the most obstinate of interrogation subjects. This particular implant has a subspace relay intended to capture and transmit these memories so that my superiors can sift through the secrets locked in our victims' minds even as we move on to implant more subjects. Where did you do this? What information did this fairy have you use so badly? Or so in your eyes it's torture, and this required attacking and tormenting helpless civilians? It's either the top or the bottom. I'm not sure what exactly commanders wanted to learn from these people. I can only guess that my superiors wanted information that they felt could help them remember their fairies. The cortical implants were calibrated to bring long-term memories to the surface, even going back to the target's childhood. Perhaps they wanted to learn something that even a Deferi child might know. Ooh. So, would the probe Deferi know would the probe Deferi know what memories were being searched? Perhaps, if they had the mental fortitude to recall the memories that were triggered during their interrogation. The pain from the implants can be quite intense. How do we remove it? The removal of the cortical implant is a very delicate procedure. The implants are intended to be strong enough to survive the interrogation process, but they're difficult to be removed by the subject or anyone else. I have worked with these implants for some time. Have your doctors talk to me and I will tell them what they need to do to remove them. Nice. So he's going to help us. Tran is on our side. So, originally when this mission came out, Tran was the reward for this mission, and you got him as a bridge officer. And every now and then they'll do that special reward thing and bring it back, and then you can replay this mission and get Tran for free if you don't have him. You can also buy Tran in the exchange, but you can get him free from this mission when they have that special going on. Alright, so here's the information. I spent some time talking to the patient while you were in the brig. It sounded to me like the Breen implant was triggering memories from the patient's early childhood, many of them involving rhymes and songs. Most Deferi parents and grandparents sing to their children and tell them stories of our past. A common theme is our songs in the Preservers. We sing of their travels through the universe, their efforts to maintain the balance, and their great archive. My children are particularly fond of songs about the Preserver archives, a hidden place where they left all of their technology and records of the ancient days. It's an interesting story, but I don't know if a place like that could actually exist. After all, we're talking about children's rhymes. Captain, the Breen's going to help us, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now go back to Tran. So that's why the Breen are putting these devices in their heads. They want information about the Preservers, and specifically the Preserver archive. Okay, Tran. Thank you for returning. I know that helping you was the right thing to do, but because I did so, I can never return to the Breen Confederacy. Therefore, I would like to request asylum. Much has happened between our races, but I see now that you are different. Perhaps it is time for a different sort of Breen. I, however, am not alone in this request. There are a small group of Breen that share my feelings. We know that attacking innocents is wrong. If you accept us, we would like to all join you. Sounds good. I will give you the information necessary to remove the things. We've sent a communication based on transfer information. I can't be sure that it was received, so at this point I believe the only thing we can do is wait for a response. A Breen capable of reason? I never thought I would see that. I'm surprised, but I'm not going to complain about good fortune. The Deferi seem to have things under control for now. Are you ready to leave the system? And that's that mission. Just make sure you get those questions right, because if you fail it, you'll be redoing this thing again, and it's not fun to redo it. I remember stories about the Preservers and of course with ruins linked to Farah, but I've never heard of an intact Preserver installation. The Breen, however, are taking these stories quite seriously, and if the Breen managed to acquire Preserver-level technology, they could shift the balance of power in the entire Alpha Quadrant. It's lucky that you were able to establish a connection with Tran. I believe that he was sent by the powers to help maintain the balance in the galaxy, and I am grateful. I know your intelligence service has more questions for him, but after that, I promise I'll do what I can to see that he and any other Breen who disagree with their government's actions are not forgotten. One of your commanding officers was requesting to speak with you. You should consider meeting with him when you are done here. Alright, create a Deferi snow tubers or the rapid reload. I'll take the rapid reload for right now. Cryo tribbles are really cheap on the exchange. You really don't need to create them anymore because they are just so cheap. You just go buy cryo tribbles. Okay. Now we are 3 missions done of the Breen invasion. So I hope you all enjoyed Cold Comfort. It was a bit of a diversion there, but the next one, Cold Case, is really fun. It brings us back to that Star Trek: The Next Generation episode where Picard and I believe it's Professor Galen, if I think I have his name right, who is searching for the preserver technology, and Picard ends up taking over, and they search the galaxy for the preserver, and then they find that preserver hologram, right? That is what Cold Case is like. It is really cool. So thank you all for watching Cold Comfort, and stay tuned for the next one. It will be very fun. Thank you.